Let's start off by talking about the tuning, because the original is tuned down half a step, which means E has become E flat, A is A flat, D is D flat, and so on. Okay, every string has been brought back a semitone basically. However, I'm still in standard tuning, and the reason for that is because it's going to be easier for you to play along with. You won't have to tune down either. But if you do want to play in the original key, or if you want to play along with the track, you've definitely got to tune it down. Or conversely, you can actually play everything down a fret if you want a shortcut to that as well. But anyway, we're playing it in the original position, but in standard tuning. The first note we're going to play is going to be fret 12 of the D string, and we're going to play that with our first finger. Okay, but after that we're going to go up an octave to the 15th fret of the B string. Notice that's the first dot after the 12, and we're using our third finger here. Let's use the same fingers that Slash does when he plays it. So we're going from 12 on the D string up to 15 on the B string. Then we're going to use our second finger on 14 on the G string. And then our first finger on fret 12 of the G. Okay, so if you put all that all together so far, here's what we have. And play it slowly. Okay. Now, the next part, we're going to put your third finger on fret 15 of the high E string now, and play that. Your second finger goes on fret 14 of the G. Then use your third finger again here, this time on 14 on the high E, and then back to 14 on the G. Alright, so the second half of this bar is going to sound like this. Alright, so why don't we put it all together so far? This is how it's going to sound. Okay, now obviously, as you know from knowing how the original goes, it's a lot faster than this on the original. But I do very, very much recommend that you practice this slowly first. Get it perfect at this slower pace and then gradually build up the speed. Another thing you're going to want to do that you don't have to do straight away is alternate picking, which means we're going to be going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Alright, because when we really speed it up, you're going to want it to be, smooth, and it's going to be easier with the downs and ups in the long run. So yeah, do add that in when you're used to it as well. But as you can see, we've learnt the main riff now. We've learnt the main part that it does, but then it does change. So it does it twice in a row, so let's play it twice. But then the next couple of bars are going to be identical. Apart from the very first note, we're now going to change the first note of the bar to a 14, okay, instead of a 12. However, once we've done that, the whole rest of the riff is the same. And it's worth noting that not only is it very, very similar, but it's exactly the same fingers. So you still start on your first finger, then go to your third, and then after that, same fingers as before. So we're just changing the first note to a 14 for a couple of bars. When we've done that for 2 bars, we then move our first finger to fret 12 again, but on the G string. But then after that, the riff is all the same. And again, it's twice. And to finish off the 4-bar sequence, basically, we just go back to the original one and play 2 more bars of that. So, first finger on the 12th fret of the D string. Okay, so I'm going to go through all of that now, all 4 of those lines, and then I'll tell you about the structure of the entire intro and the different ending. So here we go. So it's going to start off on that first iteration on the D string. Then up to 14 on the D, twice. Back to 12, but on the G. And back to the D on the 12. Okay, yeah, so that's our 4 lines. Now it does that 3 times in total, okay, through those 4 lines. However, we've had one difference on the 3rd time around. Instead of going back, so once you've done the first 3 lines, you don't go back to the 12th fret of the D string. We actually do this different ending, which sounds like this. Alright, so yeah, that's the part you hear just before the vocals come in verse 1. So yeah, we're going to start off on fret 12 on the high E string with our first finger. Then we're going to go down to the 14th fret of the G string with our second finger. And I want you to notice now that every time we play a different note after that, we keep coming back to the 14 on the G string with the second finger. So let's start off with the first bar of this. We're going to go from 12 on the high E string down to that 14 on the G. But then we're going to play 15 on the B string, the third finger, back to the 14 on the G. Then it comes back to the 12 again on the high E, down to the 14. And then you're going to play a 14 with your third finger on the high E string. And yet again, down to that 14. So the whole first bar of this little part is going to sound like this. Okay, then after that, we're still going to keep coming back to that 14, but we're going to play 15 on the high E string. Back to the 14. And then 14 on the high E string. Back to the 14. 12 on the high E. Back to the 14. And then back to the 15 of the B string. And then ending on one more of those notes on the 14th fret of the G. So yeah, so if we put all of that together slowly, it's going to sound like this.